My whole goal with my print on demand store is to make it as passive as possible. That means I am not actively spending my time working on my store to be able to see sales. And unfortunately, spending time on building a social media does not play into that goal at all. But I am not saying that it's bad to actually drive your own traffic with social media. In fact, Etsy does love it when you drive them traffic and bring people to their marketplace. However, it depends on your goals for your store. Do you want it to be a more passive income stream? Or is it something you actually want to spend a lot of time on? Do you have fun on social media? Do you want to put it on social media? You totally can, but what I'm saying is it is not necessary. In fact, if the only way that you are able to make sales is by driving your own traffic through social media, then you are missing something very important in your Etsy store. I was able to quit my 9-to-5 having never done any Etsy marketing. That includes no ads and no social media. Yet I'm still able to make thousands of dollars a month on sales that Etsy brings me for free. The reason that I actually started selling on Etsy instead of my own website is because with your own website, you would need social media, you would need paid marketing to be able to drive traffic to your store to make sales. But Etsy is a marketplace, meaning they already have their own customers that are searching their marketplace for your products. So the customers come to you. Etsy gives you this traffic and is able to make sales for you with their search. You just have to know how to play the game of Etsy and how to rank high with your products so that those customers can find you. And again, if you are not getting any traffic from Etsy, something is wrong with the way you have your store set up, whether that be in your listings, in your storefront, or a few other key factors. So I want to go over the way to optimize your store to tell Etsy to rank you high so you can make sales without ever having to drive them yourself. My first tip is make sure that your storefront is fully complete. Every single piece that Etsy lets you fill it out. If you watch my other videos, you probably know the reasons why, but the two big ones is you are not going to be ranking high at all if your storefront is not complete. Etsy doesn't want to show its customers an incomplete store that they're not going to buy from anyway. So you are going to be ranking much lower if you have not fully set up your storefront. The second reason is that you fill out your storefront with keywords about what you are selling. If Etsy can understand what you sell, they'll know who to show it for. If they can't determine what you sell, they're gonna have no clue where to rank you. The second tip is to make sure that you are consistently adding to your store. Etsy doesn't want to see someone who just added 5 products and then didn't touch their store for a year. They want to see someone that's actively trying to improve their store, and they reward that type of active behavior. This includes adding new listings to your shop. Another reason it is so important to be adding new listings to your shop is because when you release a new listing, it actually gets a temporary search boost that Etsy uses to try to figure out if people like it or not. And they are going to use that to decide where to rank you. By getting that extra little boost, that might also drive traffic from people finding your listing to going to your storefront and checking out all of your other products as well. So if you're not adding new listings, you are missing out on this temporary search boost that can be happening pretty often to your store that opens the gate to more sales by flooding in more people from that listing into your storefront. If a certain week you have no clue what else to add to your Etsy store, perhaps you can be active by just going back to old listings that are not getting any traction at all and updating the SEO. Resend them back into the search rank by renewing them. And this shows Etsy that you are again trying to improve your store, and it's also going to help that listing. If it wasn't selling before, editing the SEO cannot hurt. Once you are consistent with your store, you have your storefront set up, the most important way that Etsy is going to know what you sell and know who to show it for is through your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. I'm gonna have to do an exactly full video on this, but let's go over this high level. I think you can probably just watch this and probably get SEO pretty quickly, but your SEO is your titles, your tags, and your top of your description. It should be filled with keywords. Keywords are what you think someone is going to type into the Etsy search bar to find your product. And then if they see it, they'll be like, yes, this is exactly what I was looking for and I want to buy this. So your titles shouldn't be butterfly vintage retro gift for mom. Because what are the chances that someone is going to type that into the search bar? You really need to think, what would you as a person type into Etsy to find this product? I like to fill my title with different variations of keywords or search phrases that I think that people could search on Etsy, that again, if they found my product ranked in that search, that they would be like, yes, this is what I was looking for. Then I use those keywords in my titles, my tags, and the top of my description. Your titles and your tags are just like this little keyword, but in your description, you should have your keywords laid out in a sentence. So if you had a teacher shirt, you should be like, this is a beautiful teaching shirt for the teachers in your life. This educator shirt makes the perfect gift for teachers in your life. Then make sure these searchable phrases show up in your title, your tag, and your description sentence. I've seen some people try to hit as many keywords as possible by doing different tags in their title than in their actual tags. But Etsy has said that if a keyword or key phrase shows up in your Etsy title only, it is seen as less relevant than another person who, if they had that keyword in both their title, tag, and descriptions. I am currently working on a longer Etsy SEO video for you guys because there is so much to this, but you can also just read the Etsy seller handbook, which tells you all of this as well. It is quite a lengthy read, but knowing from Etsy themselves what they take into priority when they're actually deciding where to rank you is extremely important. If you do not master your SEO, you are not going to be getting organic traffic and sales from Etsy. And then the only way that you can is by creating social media or paying for ads, which is just a waste of time and money when you can just spend a little bit of time trying to figure out what SEO means for Etsy. Another thing you should be doing to be driving traffic to your store is making sure that you have a really good main photo. Etsy shoppers are shopping on visuals. So even if your SEO is killing it and they are passing your product, if that photo does not entice them to click amongst all the other people showing up on that page, then you are not going to be making sales. And Etsy is going to see that people are just not interested in your product when searching up for these keywords, and you're going to drop in the Etsy rankings. So that is why it is very important for you to invest in your Etsy photos. Again, shoppers on Etsy are extremely visually based. They're actually probably not reading your titles, they're probably not reading your descriptions, and they're definitely never seeing your tags. So the photos are the main things that they look at to decide if they want to buy from you. The last little piece I have for you is about social proof. People do not want to be the first person to buy from a store. There's zero proof that you're an actual seller, that your products are good. So the chances that your first organic sale is going to be a stranger is extremely difficult. Not impossible. I know people that have had this, but it is really good to get some social proof onto your store first. This means getting some sales and definitely some reviews from friends and family. This is just at the start of your store, just to kickstart it going, but social proof is very important because people aren't really going to trust your store. So even if you have the best SEO, you have amazing photos, if there's zero other proof that lets them trust your store, that might just be the reason that they leave your store and again, dropping your conversion rate. Thank you guys. I hope this helped. And remember, again, if you want to create social media for your store, if you want to pay for ads, you totally can, but you do not need to make sales on Etsy, which is, to me, the absolute best part about selling on Etsy and why right now I have zero want to create my own website. If I wanted to spend time actually building a brand and social media, then I probably actually would lean more towards having my own website, but I just don't want to. Again, my whole deal is trying to make my businesses as passive as possible so that I can still make money and take some time to myself. If you guys have tried social media in your shop before, let me know in the comments how it went. If you like this video and you haven't yet, please drop a like and subscribe. It would help me out so much. Thanks, guys. Until next time.